Hello again from Hoi An in central Vietnam. This is our latest trip report. Stick around for the end to hear what saved us in 2 new countries we visited this month.
We've been here in Hoi An for over 2 months now. We started out in a homestay for a couple weeks, then moved to an apartment rental. And if you'd like to see what those look like or hear from our recent visitors, check out our February update.
This month, we did something unusual for us, which was we took a very quick trip to 2 different countries within 5 days. It was our first time in both Hong Kong and the Philippines. Of course they have dim sum in the Hong Kong airport.
To save money, we used reward points to book all of our hotel nights since points generally go a lot farther in Asia. Our hotels in Hong Kong and Manila averaged only 10,000 IHG points per night, whereas, for example, hotels in Portland, Oregon are around 20 to 40,000 points per night, and hotels in New York City are 50,000 and above.
That's crazy. We also flew on budget airlines for our flights, used some Capital One reward points to cover part of the airfare, and booked 2 sets of round-trip tickets since it was the cheapest option.
And I know a lot of you have wondered, when is it worth paying extra for comfort or convenience? We opted for the budget airlines this time because the flights were short, and so some of the downsides that tend to come with budget airlines, like comfort and extra fees for choosing seats, they weren't as big of a deal.
Alright, so here's a quick travel tip. If you are flying any airlines and you, let's say, can't select your seats online for whatever reason, you can always ask the ticket agent at the check-in counter if there's something available. They don't have to give you anything, but it doesn't hurt to ask, especially if you have a good reason. Like for us, we had a short connection, and so we asked if it was possible, and they gave us really nice seats. Also, because we could leave our things behind at our apartment rental in Hoi An, we were able to pack really minimally for this trip and avoid paying for extra baggage, which is another common fee with budget airlines.
We also took a risk booking 2 separate round-trip tickets. When we arrived in Hong Kong from Manila, we needed to exit through immigration, check into a different airline to get our boarding passes, and then re-enter through immigration and security for our second flight back to Vietnam. So if our first flight was late, it could have meant missing the second flight, which would be a big pain to sort out ourselves since it wasn't all booked on one ticket.
To help minimize that risk, we made sure that our 2 flights had more than enough buffer time in between.
The first flight did in fact arrive late, but fortunately the delay was minimal, so it all worked out, and we even enjoyed an almost empty plane on one flight, which was a first.
Since our time in these 2 places were limited, we knew we couldn't do a lot of sightseeing, so we basically chose one priority, which was food.
What was your favorite thing that we ate in Hong Kong and Manila, or anything that surprised you?
So I love the dim sum and char siu that we had in Hong Kong. It reminded me of flavors from growing up in Hawaii, but just leveled up. I mean, just unbelievably good. And then in Manila, we had the best mango shake ever. And we've had a lot of mango shakes.
An important member of the team behind the scenes at Intentional Travelers is Eileen, and she lives in the Philippines. So we actually got to meet her husband on this trip, which was very cool. And I'm really glad that she warned us about the traffic in Manila, because getting around in Manila versus Hong Kong is very different, right?
Yeah, Hong Kong was a great example of how a reliable public transit system can make it super easy to get around as a visitor. We took the Airport Express train into town and used the subway and the double-decker buses, which were clean, super convenient, and efficient. Something else I was struck by in Manila was that every single sign was in English and we could communicate easily with people in English, so that was really nice too.
And the other thing that made it much easier for us to get around in both places was having a regional eSIM.
So we just landed in Hong Kong, and already my phone is connected thanks to the regional eSIM.
Made it to the Philippines, just stepped out of the airport, never been here before, and so there's a little bit of like, where do we go, what do we do? So it's really nice to have some tools in our pockets. eSIM card worked as soon as we landed, maps, Grab, rideshare app, so we're ready to go, we can navigate in a foreign place. If you're a membership supporter or you have my worldwide connectivity course, you can check out my comparison of the different international phone plan options, as well as a module called eSIM Essentials, if you'd like to learn more tips and best practices to use eSIMs for traveling abroad.
Being able to use our phone data immediately in a new country without worrying about roaming fees really makes it less stressful, because we can look up answers to questions that come up, translate something, get directions on a map, send a quick communication to friends and loved ones,
etc.
Exactly. And we'll be sharing more tips for smartphone savvy travel in our next set of tutorials to help you visit unfamiliar places with more ease and confidence.
Don't forget to submit questions or suggestions for our upcoming videos. Be sure to join our Intentional Travelers membership subscription.
We'd like to thank our founding supporters who make this video possible:
Jackie Grant,
Steve Brink,
Kenneth Neverin,
Catherine Evans,
Tara Hathaway,
Jolene Chang,
Tammy Pitsley,
John Granger,
Paul and Esther Butcher,
Pat Oldmixon,
Ella Leeper,
Captain Lawrence Crompton,
Kat Goldberg,
Lori Sprinkle.
Ryan Sliger.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone. See you next time.